fighting stances for level pink in Muay Thai. So our advancing fighting stance is not static, it's when we start to move. So if I'm in a position like this, and I'm going to advance towards my opponent, most likely because I'm landing strikes and they're backing up in that position, I need to be in the understanding that my stance needs to be active, it needs to be alive. I need to augment it in order to maintain that distance and pressure. A couple of things to consider. When I'm throwing my strikes, whether they be hooks, kicks, punches, whatever I'm throwing, I need to make sure I have the balance both 12 and 6 o'clock and 9 and 3 o'clock. So for example, if I'm here and I'm advancing towards my opponent, my stance will be slightly longer and slightly wider. So if I'm here, this is my regular fighting stance in this position, I'm doing my head movement, I land a punch and I need to start moving forward because my opponent is backing up to be successful at the range. My stance becomes wider and longer as I start to advance towards them. And that's the advancing fighting stance. An inside fighting stance. What I mean by an inside fighting stance is when I'm facing my opponent and I'm inside the pocket, which basically means somewhere inside the hook range, not the clinch, I'm not grabbing them in any way, but I'm fighting to the inside. So for example, one way to train your inside punches would be putting your forehead against the heavy bag and striking from there. That's approximately the distance required to confirm that I'm fighting to the inside. So it's not long range here, it's not medium range, I'm inside. So from this position, an inside fighting stance cannot be as long as our regular fighting stance or the advancing fighting stance. It can't be out here, otherwise I can't get close enough to my opponent to throw anything from my power or dominant side. So my inside fighting stance is wider, not quite square, but significantly wider. And this is where I would both deliver blows and be able to take them and maintain the balance from this position. Inside fighting stance. From my regular fighting stance, I'm here, I would step out and up slightly. This is where I'd be throwing my inside strikes from and defending